everybody, my name is Harry Jacobs and I am the North of 60 Gamer, and welcome to my show. And today we're going to talk. I just watched a video of the day and I watched Alex Radcliffe, and I admire him a lot in what he brings to the gaming industry, of course, which is his content creation where he talks about value. And he was responding to, I guess, a friend of his, Jesse, over at Crackalope, and he responded by doing a pair of videos basically of whether Kickstarter was good or Kickstarter was bad for the gaming industry. Of course, I'm not going to do a pair of videos like that, but I am going to express some opinions around that, and I sit somewhere in the middle of his two opposing views. I think it's both hot and cold, or it's a gray area for me. One thing I will say is that I do like Kickstarter. I mean, I do watch it. I do back things, though I have to say I'm backing less. And what kind of triggering is this is that based on what Alex had said, I went on to a certain Facebook page and I asked a question. And the question was simply, can you afford the games today? I mean, Kickstarter is constantly adding games and constantly adding new games, as you would expect as a kickstarting platform, or a platform that is encouraging designers and publishers to kickstart games and raise funds, but they're getting expensive. So when you see a game that has a lot of shiny, cool stuff like minis, and all of a sudden it's like, well, your base game is $250, but if you add on all this cool stuff, it's $500. So is this now becoming a luxury item in my household, or in any household? Now, what drove that particular admin at the Facebook page? He was afraid that I would upset people because, you know, the haves versus the have-nots might say, yes, cool, $500, no problem. Or the other side of the coin as well, I don't have that kind of money. I feel bad because this guy can buy it and I can't, therefore I'm going to be argumentative and sad about this. Well, I'm not saying that's a wrong thing, but what I am saying is that I was not coming at it from that point of view. I was coming at it from the point of view, and I didn't ask specifically, can you afford a game? I came at it from the point of view that said, what do you think of these prices today? And he said, well, this was argumentative. It was going to change the way people think. And I went like, okay, I looked at the rules of the forum, and there was nothing about that. I didn't break any rules, yet it was pulled. Now, that particular administrator has his opinion, and if he thinks that I was breaking some rule that nobody knew about, then he needs to update that. On the other hand, if we get back to the fundamental question of whether Kickstarter is good or bad for the gaming industry, it depends. I think Kickstarter has lost its way. I think Kickstarter has become a haven for people who want to pre-sell games. And this is especially true for the big manufacturers like CMON, Mythic Games. So I think this is true for those big publishing houses now that are going, I have no risk. I'll just pre-sell it here, spend 2 or 3 years to deliver it, and then deliver it, and never be out. They're not risking anything to the business. We are de-risking companies that go out and say, I've got a product, but instead of me going out and just publishing it because I think it's a great game, I'm going to go out and kickstart it, because if it fails, I'm not out anything. I'm not risking anything. I'm not risking my company, which I think is, in a way, is wrong. I think you've got to put it on the line. And if your company is a multi-million-dollar company publishing games, why are you on Kickstarter? You are ruining it. There we go. I am saying that there are companies that are ruining Kickstarters for people. And I don't think it's ruining it for the average Joe. I think it's ruining it for the small developers and publishers who are trying to put their games out, and they get overshadowed by these huge games that raise $3, $4, and $5 million, and they're like $300 to $500 or more by the time you're done. Now, I personally am now going back to my roots, which is medium weight games, probably under $100, and I may go up to $150. I mean, if Gloomhaven can go out for $150, or the Frosthaven, why do I have to spend $400 to get hundreds of minis? I'm perfectly happy with the Gloomhaven model. Give me standees and a few minis. Maybe the heroes are minis, or maybe the big bosses are minis, or use meeples. I don't know what the answer is here, but I can't afford the constant barrage of games that I'm interested in and love the mechanics, love the theme, love what the game is offering, except for the price. And then I look at the price and go, I'm backing away. I'm not investing my money for 2 to 3 years while you figure this out and get it to me. I want games delivered on time. I want games that say, yes, I'm going to raise funds and I'm going to deliver that to you in that year or 18 months. And it does happen. I've seen the Vita Lasarda games. They're on time. Tristan Hall, pretty much on time. Not Hull or Nothing, that was Tristan Hall. Rock Manor Games, on time. So there's lots of these smaller publishers that are getting stuff out on time. But they're big names now. They're almost not quite AAA, but you know, they're not CMON, certainly. They're not raising millions, but they are raising hundreds of thousands. And deservedly so, they're good games. But these small publishers, and this is where I get mad at Kickstarter. So the other flip side, it's ruining it not only for the small publishers too and designers, because they get overshadowed by these big guys, but now I have to make that choice. Do I want that $500 game or $250 base game, or do I want to buy 2 or 3 games at, in that $50 to $100 range and help out these small publishers? Or these publishers have some really good games, but I'm really pulled to CMON, who has that new great miniatures game that has thousands, hundreds of miniatures. I don't paint miniatures, so I don't see a value in miniatures, other than they look really cool. And if I painted them, then why don't you offer them as a separate, buy these miniatures? But we're going to give you cardboard standees and reduce the price of your game down to that $100 or $150 level. Or, these all-in things where, we're not even going to give you a solo mode unless you pay us an extra, 15 or 20 bucks. I'm a solo player. If you expect me to pay $250 to $500 for the game, why am I paying another? You're nickeling and diming me to death. It just doesn't make sense. Not to me. Maybe not to you. I'm getting some real strong feelings around what Kickstarter is doing now. And I think it is not helping the industry. I don't think it's really helping the consumer. I don't think it's hindering, because, it still has, it's like eBay. eBay started out, boy, I could get deals. I could sell anything, and I would go, now I go out and look at the secondary market, and we have scalpers out there selling pre-sales of games for more than what they're worth. Oh, I missed X game on Kickstarter. Well, I'll pre-sell it to you for twice as much as what it was on Kickstarter. They're scalpers. It should be illegal what they're doing. But, the nature is, if you didn't back it, you're going to get stuck in the secondary market. And, if you got a game that is super popular, what the heck's going to happen? But eBay didn't start out that way. eBay started out as, I got an extra something. Oh, I got a used game I don't play anymore. Let's get it out there. Let's get some bids on it and let me ship it off. Now it's like, oh, I got this secondary game and I've got it and it's $150, but it's only a $30 game. And that's where Kickstarter is getting to, I think, is it's getting to that point where it started out as a platform to bring these small publishers and small designers an opportunity to get funds to fund games. But now it's got overshadowed by these huge, shiny new games with lots of shiny new stuff that maybe a small publisher or a small designer can't get to. So in a way, I think it is killing the industry. I also think it's bringing too many games to the market. How do you reconcile this? Because I just bought a couple of really good, solid games from about 2014 into my collection. Assault on Doomrock and Dice Nations. Perfectly solid games. Both are out of print at the moment. Assault on Doomrock is coming to GameFound And it'll have the couple of expansions and some promos with it that were published. And it'll be sometime, I think, in the next couple of months. I think it's this quarter or next quarter, and we're almost done this quarter. So it should be out soon, and that's coming to GameFound. But it was, I tripped across it. So we're losing this history of games that are out there too, like things that I could add to my collection that makes sense for as a collector or as a player. But again, Kickstarter is bringing 400 and 500 games to the market at any one time. You can go in and say, hey, there's 300 games out there, or 500 games. I think it is now. During Christmas, it kind of trails off. So I don't think Kickstarter is doing the overall gaming industry a favor at this point. So it does have its place, but is it really helping the gaming industry? I say no. I think it's, at this point, more against the gaming industry and causing the gaming industry to do things that it doesn't need to do. Like, I need more shiny, new, deluxe stuff. And of course, every time you do that, you're raising the price. And with the price shortages, the shipping problems, the logistic issues of getting a game, and the tight margins, you're going to force the prices of the games up. I've seen some wonderful games delivered, like Dwellings of Eldervale. That was $130. It's got minis. It's got all kinds of stuff. And it wasn't expensive. So it can be done. Anyway, I think I'm just upsetting myself. I'm going to go back. I'm getting ready for my workout, but I had to get this off my chest. Put some comments below. What do you think of this? Is Kickstarter helping or hindering the gaming industry as a whole, or the publications and designing of games? Is it working against what I think needs to be going at the moment? I don't know. I don't have the easy answers. I mean, I am a BA, and I haven't really looked closely at it. I've not looked at statistics. These are just my opinions, and they're not founded on anything, so really take that as a grain of salt, that these are just my feelings and my opinion. But if you've got some facts and figures, put them below. Let's discuss this. I can't discuss it on Facebook, on one of the bigger Facebook pages I wanted to discuss it on, because I wanted to bring those comments to a forum like this and discuss it from a place of what other people feel. But I can only do my own feelings now, and that's what you got. Anyway, my name is Harry Jacobs. I am the North of 60 Gamer. Welcome to the North of 60 Gaming channel, and I am out of here. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and get notifications.